All right, guys. Good morning. Welcome back to our midweek live analysis with Prince Wonder. As usual on the program, we're going to be looking into the financial markets, crypto, forex, trying to see what the market has been doing, where the market is, and what we're expecting of the market from this point forward. Now, I'm going to start with an update to our BTC analysis. I think we had a conversation last night on it, and someone in the group was predicting that we had exhausted our trend and we should be dropping further down to what 27K, and I said that was maybe too hasty, so 27K is probably around here. So I think that was a little too hasty last night, and if you can check, you see we still are within this range. Let me come back to this one. We're still consolidating in that range. Although our short-term buy last night actually hit our stop loss, but the market is still trending upwards. So you see the market is still consolidating within that 29 to $32,000 range. So personally, my trend in validation for this consolidation will be seeing the market break below $29,000, not anywhere within that range. So we have to significantly drop out of this level to start to consider that this what a month-long trend now is invalid, right? So within below that zone to confirm. Personally, I'm mostly bearish, but well, the market is the market, and we have to go with what the market is doing and how it's doing it, so we don't get left behind. So we don't keep a one-track mind. We keep adjusting our bias and beliefs based on what the market prints on the charts. Okay, so now right now we've been consolidating and really we've been forming what a bit of higher highs there. So over the last couple of weeks, right now we actually almost peaked out at 31,000. Didn't really make much of a difference though, seeing as the market did not break it. So we need to see a significant push above 32,000 before we call a breakout. So right now we've come back down to retest the base of the range we've been trading, which is around 29,700 give or take, right? So the bottom of that wick there. So we've retested the base of our range. Now, on a short term, perhaps if we're going to trade a trend continuation, we would be looking at something like this playing out, maybe pullback, but ultimately, if we're riding up, probably we're riding up from this point, maybe back up to 32K. The daily time frame certainly is signaling something of the sort on the daily time frame. So perhaps maybe we could still see a little push up, although we're seeing significant lower highs despite the higher highs on price. We're seeing lower highs on the RSI, so that definitely is a bear divergence, which has not played out fully yet. So possible we could still see a little uptrend. So if you followed my trading strategy or my students, you would understand why the market is reacting to this point on the RSI. So we possibly could see a pullback to that resistance before it drops. So that possibility exists. So that's why I'm actually not too quick to expect to predict a push below $29,000, even though it's a very, very good possibility, but not the immediate it's not the immediate trend. Okay, so based on what I'm seeing on the lower time frame, it's not the immediate trend, but it's a very, very likely possibility. Now, while Bitcoin is doing all of this, when Bitcoin is consolidating, really is the best time to look into alternate coins because they do the most because they have freedom, right? Like when your dad is not around and you have all the freedom and the leverage to misbehave. So that's the same situation with alternate coins. So right now they have all the freedom and leverage. ETH plays too closely to BTC, so really wouldn't be my first pick for a trade. So let's look more at the subtle alternate coins. Okay, so a large chunk of this tend to look like they're at a resistance right now. So maybe we should wait a little bit for some confirmation before going in. Before going in, let's wait for a little confirmation before going in. Based off of what I'm seeing here, a pullback to this range really seems very likely. Now, that actually follows if we were to believe that BTC is going to drop a little bit. If you looked at my chart, you see the market already started to pull back a little bit there. So if that actually does play out, that little pullback was seen printed on alternate coin charts could definitely um, play out to give us a much better entry. Personally, I'd like to get into LDO at this price. Okay, so just a little lesser than where it is right now. You take a short-term swing. Okay, just tight stop loss there. So 1:1.8, not entirely terrible. WOJAK. Okay. Certainly seems possible for a trend continuation, although I think I'll wait for a little more confirmation. Wait for a little more confirmation before going in. Maybe the next two, three candles before going in. I think it's very possible to get an entry around here, so I'll just wait for that. Let's wait for that. Oh, sweet. Risk to reward ratio 1:4.2. Yes, you can trade this on futures comfortably and make some money. This one is at a resistance. You definitely need to wait before we take a sell. Or you could take a sell though. It looks like our risk to reward ratio here is pretty tight. Our stop loss, I think. Our here isn't bad, so we take a short sell. Remember this analysis is on the 30-minute time frame, so it's not a trade you hold for long. It's Okay. So yeah, this goes to show this rejection. So yeah, this cell it has a very good chance of playing out. So 1:1.5 risk to reward ratio, not 1.2, but it's ideal. Okay, so Lina, I sent an analysis on this, I think a few days ago. I think the market price was around this resistance, and we're looking for the market to drop further to get an entry within this zone, right? I think Mr. Godwin, what is that you? Someone suggested we take a look at this pair. It doesn't look like the downtrend is over yet, but at the same time, really doesn't look like we're going to break below that support. Okay, doesn't look like we're going to break below that support, but still doesn't seem like the downtrend is over. So you can actually take an entry and just allow the market to probably finish its consolidation and then trend. Okay, so if that's actually in the cards, although if the market is consolidating, however, you'd get to tell as the market moves whether it's leaning more on the bullish side or the bearish side, so you can tell whether to hold your position or to close it as the market moves. But based off of what I'm seeing here, it's not that bad an idea to take an entry, maybe wait for the market to pull down a little bit so you get a much better entry within the zone. And then you just buy. Okay, so let's jump to the FX market. Since this broke below this resistance, I think I've left Euro USD alone for a little bit since it was going crazy bullish. Thought I'd leave it alone so I don't get burned since I didn't join the trend from the start. We've actually not been at this level since February last year. Wow. I think I made a good call. Yes. Trying to take any sell at any one of those resistances would have left me severely burnt. So I think we're at a resistance here. Yep. So we have a resistance there, and okay, so our market is already reacting to that. Let's see what's happening on the higher time frame. Clearly significantly overbought. Hmm. Well, if you can wait, I think there's a very neat opportunity to take a sell on Euro USD. Not short-term trade, obviously. So you can see those wicks at the top. Well, we have wicks at the bottom too, but there's a resistance. So sell from there. Let's TP here. And sell up there. So 176 pips. If this plays out, if you can be patient, maybe a week or two, we should see this play out neatly too. Yeah, same thing on GBPUSD, although it seems GBPUSD is actually on a much stronger trajectory, but usually GBPUSD is a mirror image of Euro USD, so you just have to identify the levels and just run with it. Sometimes it moves ahead of Euro USD, so you may have probably would miss an entry on it a goodly amount of time. Okay, so GBPCHF starting to look like it will be reversing this exhaustingly long sell soon. So we just have to allow it to give signs of that reversal. On this one candle really isn't enough yet, so we're just touching that zone. So unless you want to break it down and trade it on a lower time frame, then of course. But based off of what we saw on the daily chart, that's not an entry yet. So off of the daily chart, there's a support here, or 4-hour chart, sorry. There's support here that we can work with. Here. So there's support here we can work with. If you want to trade with that, there's another minor one up here. So it's just a short pullback. Now, mind you, these zones being so close to each other is because they are on different time frames, okay? They're on different time frames. So just a short pullback. Just put our SL below that wick. The risk to reward ratio on this one is terrible, so best not to risk it. I think I'll just wait for the much bigger move on the daily time frame will allow the market to really fully bottom out and give a stronger bullish reversal confirmation before entering. Okay, so in GBPJPY, I think it's still the same thing here. I don't think the support is going to hold though. So perhaps maybe wait. I think we're going to break the support. The RSI really hasn't bottomed out yet. We are already at that support. So unless we're in for a very long consolidation, we're certainly going to break that support. So if we're breaking that support, I want to take a sell continuation, maybe slightly below 178.7. The only disadvantage to this is a wide SL. So this is the next support, minor support. So that has to be our TP, sadly. So the thing with entering after the market breaks support is your confirmation point slightly below, so you have to wait significantly, although the chances of the market hitting your SL are significantly reduced since the market has already pretty much confirmed the trend. So hence the wider SL, but then the odds possibility of the market playing out that trend are significantly higher. So sometimes it evens out and makes maybe a little sense. Why you should take a 1:1 trade, but please never take, regardless of the odds, never take a trade less than 1:1. It's suicide. All right, so let's look at one more before we go. Mm, Okay, yeah, I saw an analysis on gold in the group. Or was that on someone's status? I can't remember. Let me see. Okay, so this is tempting to want to see as a breakout, but uh, not so certain yet. Hmm. Ordinarily, if we closed above 1985, I really wouldn't have even considered it being a fake out, but it's really starting to look like one. We drop down to the 4-hour chart and see. Yeah, like I said, so let's wait. Possibly it's really probably going to sell back inside this range, so don't be hasty to take a buy. If you're not convinced, you could maybe wait till the market breaks 1970. It's just $8. Then you join the sell continuation, but don't buy. don't buy at all. Okay, look at my RSI. We have a bearish divergence on the RSI. You see, when you know how to interpret price action, when you check your indicators for confirmation, it really just aligns. Right? So we have a bearish divergence. So really, there really isn't any way I'll be looking at a bullish move on gold right now. So most certainly a sell, probably down to 1946 for starters, and then further on from there. Okay, guys. So that's for today. Follow the analysis. I'm sure you be benefit from it. So do like the video, share, and see you.